What up? This is Hood to Hood Sports and Entertainment. It's your boy OZ. We here to talk about that LeBron and Stephen A. Smith beef. Yeah, it's getting real crazy on the internet. Well, all right, let's give a rundown. Everybody already kind of know what's going on. There's a lot of stuff out there screwing, you know what I'm saying? So let's give a good little rundown about how it all happened, what happened, and what transpired in between these two from the beginning to up to now. So it all started when at a Lakers game, LeBron James approaches Stephen A. Smith courtside about saying something about Bronny and basically walking off, Stephen A. Smith backing down. Like, what's just nothing, you know what I'm saying? Nothing really going on, just a little chitter chatter, whatever the situation is. Then the video broke out and everybody was able to see it repeatedly. You know what I'm saying? As LeBron approached him, a lot of people are trying to relive, trying to figure out what was he saying. Then all of a sudden, without speculation, Stephen A. Smith said that he wasn't going to address it until the video came out, which we're going to get to that a little later about what LeBron said about that on the Pat McAfee show. But back to the details. So, he addressed it on First Take, which basically saying that LeBron James approached him courtside and said a few things about don't do this to my son. But you already know what it is, man. This is Hood to Hood Sports and Entertainment, so we keep it real here. Basically, it was like, don't fuck with my boy. Don't fuck with my son. Stop fucking with my son. In those words, one of those, take it however you want it. But basically, that's what he was saying. So I guess that screwed from some comments Stephen A. Smith made earlier on First Take, maybe about a couple of weeks before that game. I think not even a couple of weeks, but that was like maybe about 2 months before that game where he was talking about, LeBron put Bronny in a bad situation. As a father, he put Bronny in a bad situation because he don't think that Bronny was ready for the NBA. He should play in the G League a little year or two. He'd develop his game, make sure he's ready, then come to the NBA. So he was kind of like taking a little jab at LeBron, fatherhood decision, you know what I'm saying, making in that aspect. And I guess that's where it all grew from. LeBron approached him about it courtside, and now it's this big speculation going on between those two, something that's probably been brewing for a long time. So in the whole course of the thing, Stephen A. continues to explain the situation about he wasn't taking a shot at LeBron, wasn't no thing like that, and it was all about him critiquing LeBron's decision to let Bronny play in the NBA because he's the one who vouched for him, saying that he was better than most NBA players and he was ready for the NBA. Which, listen, we done seen all type of players come to the NBA. Not all of them are spectacular the first year. A lot of them struggle. Some of the best struggle. So, seeing Bronny James struggle and have to go to the G League, play a few games, was Stephen A. wrong for what he said? No. But the way he said it is the problem. And who I'm siding with right here, we're going to talk about that later. But in that aspect, I felt like he wasn't all the way correct. But was LeBron wrong for approaching him the way he approached him? Simple phone call these days. These guys got each other's numbers. They can easily talk. They can't just reach out. Even back then, even when players have problems with broadcasters or analysts or whatever the situation is, they reach out to them, hey, what you said, I don't like what you said, and it's done behind closed doors. But a lot of people think that LeBron did this strategically, So when LeBron responded to the whole thing, and everybody was waiting for him to respond after Stephen A. Smith kind of explained himself, saying that LeBron approached him in this situation. Then he also went on his own podcast saying LeBron approached him about the situation, saying don't F with my son. And he didn't like how LeBron approached him, but he didn't have a problem because LeBron did it in a fatherly way. But then he went on his podcast and kind of switched it up from what he said on First Take. And I guess that just led into a lot of speculation for people too. Him saying that LeBron really don't mess with him like that and all that. So, of course, everybody's waiting for LeBron's response to the whole video, the whole situation. And finally, he comes out on the Pat McAfee show that comes on right after First Take, another strategic move. And basically explaining how the reason why he approached Stephen A. is because he was attacking his fatherhood and player empowerment. With analysts nowadays, what they saying about these players is like, they get personal. They say stuff that maybe they shouldn't say. They don't just keep it about sports. And I guess that was LeBron's point of view. He don't keep it about sports, saying that he was a bad father to put him in that situation. Like, who wouldn't want their son to be in the NBA? I don't care if you trash. Like, you can be trash, but if I got a chance to put my son in the NBA, I'm going to do it. But of course, the criticism comes with it. But at the same time, critique his game. They say he ain't ready. I say he need to go to the G League. But they say as a father, you didn't make the right decision. It's a whole nother ball game. So that's the point where I'm bringing in that, LeBron James ain't totally wrong for what he did, approaching him courtside, which he could have made a phone call. He could have reached out to him, but maybe it was something that he wanted everybody to see. Players are getting all this backlash, criticism for years, wasn't able to really speak up for themselves. Now they got podcasts that they can drop for themselves. They got their own audience. So now they can address a lot of the things that analysts are saying about them. And to be honest with you, if it wasn't for the players, analysts wouldn't even have a job, even though that's their job. You know what I mean? But when you get personal, once again, it's a whole different ballgame. You get personal, I get personal. You keep it a business, I keep it a business. And that's where I think they went wrong. And, so let's get back to it. So after LeBron James goes on that show, Stephen A. retorts, come back on First Take, and he just goes ballistic. LeBron James is a liar. He will stab you in the back. He's been doing this for years. That's why he don't like LeBron, and that's why he don't mess with LeBron. And just adding fuel to the fire, man. Like, come on, man. Like, you're an analyst, okay? Big fish, you're the biggest name out there. LeBron is the biggest name in NBA, you're the biggest name in broadcast. You guys clash because you said something personal about him. A lot of people said stuff personal about players, but like I said, it probably was a lot brewing behind closed door with those two already. And what Stephen A. was trying to say was LeBron doesn't have a big issue with him critiquing his game or his son. His biggest issue is he don't have LeBron James as the GOAT over Michael Jordan. And LeBron James is upset about it. And I can see that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Stephen A. Smith is the biggest voice out there. And if the biggest voice out there is repeatedly saying, you're not the GOAT, you're not number one, regardless of what you did, you haven't surpassed Michael, you can go for days and say you did this, that you broke this record, but you're still not better than Michael. Yeah, that might offend somebody who think they're the greatest player of all the time. Longevity, where he came from, how he played the game. But Stephen A. Smith feels different. And I think that's where the button heads to. So I think the Bronny James thing is just what sparked it. Like I said, LeBron James said it's all about player empowerment and it's all about him attacking my fatherhood. We get it. Yeah, we get it, LeBron. That's why I give him credit on that. You're right about that part. But at the same time, you use that as an excuse. And I think I agree with Stephen A. Smith on this one when I said it all comes from him, not saying LeBron James is the GOAT, not saying LeBron James is number one. And LeBron James has a problem with that because he feels like he's the GOAT. He said it himself on numerous occasions. That's how he feels. And he's upset that Stephen A. Smith feels different. And for years, he's been waiting for an opportunity to say something. And this was a perfect time. So if you ask me where it all come from, where it all grew from, where it all started at, if you ask me why LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith going at it right now, I'm going to have to agree with Stephen A. Smith on that note. It's because he don't have LeBron James as a GOAT. But let's be honest about it. LeBron James played it perfect. That's what I said. Everything was strategic. He played it so perfect. But he could throw it off. You attack my fatherhood. Player empowerment. Analysts are saying things that they shouldn't say about players. They're getting too personal. I get it. LeBron. And that was the perfect gateway. Perfect excuse to actually say how you feel. I can't say either one of them wrong. To me, they can both profit off it. Stephen A. Smith don't need it. He got $100 million. LeBron James don't need it. He's a billionaire. But, just add to the bag. Because at the same time, they two big names. And I don't think it's about the money. I don't think it's about the money. I think it's more about empowerment. Stephen A. Smith want to be able to say whatever you want to say, however you want to say it on his platform. And LeBron James want to be able to do whatever he want to do without having to be criticized personally about certain things just because he in the NBA. Two things can be right at the same time. So, you know, but if you ask me my opinion, everybody's debating. What's the reason? We know the reason now. And it's all about who you agree with. You agree with LeBron saying that it's more about analysts saying things they shouldn't say? Then cool. But I agree with Stephen A. It's about the GOAT debate. It's been about the GOAT debate. It's gonna stay about the GOAT debate. And resolution is where we at right now. You know, it's all about what you're gonna do about it from this point. Everybody said, hey, maybe they should have a celebrity boxing match, which will be ridiculous. You know, LeBron James did, I forgot to mention the part about him putting the video out about Stephen A. boxing and training like 10 years ago. Stephen A. coming back talking about, you know, people think that's how he boxed nowadays, that's how he want them to think. Like, that's, yeah, they're getting beyond and getting out of character. You know, First Take is taking a turn where they basically saying and doing whatever they want to do on live TV. Which I don't mind that. It's entertaining. The ratings going up. The NBA players are basically saying and doing what they want to do without being penalized or getting fined anymore. So it's interesting. And I'm just sitting back enjoying it and watching it too, to see these two big time names bump heads, the two top dogs bump heads. It was interesting. You know, and maybe we can sit back and maybe see them on a podcast together. You know, he go on First Take, or maybe he said something. LeBron James will set something up. Stephen A. Smith will go on his platform or whatever. But I think that's probably be the only resolution. Or maybe they just, you know, LeBron James might retire in a couple of years, so he don't have to deal with it. He can just sit back and play behind the scenes, which could be another solution too. So we're gonna see how this thing play out, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But, you know, to see them back and forth, hey, LeBron, man, you already know, he knocked Stephen A. hit Smith head off, man. So, you know, ain't no boxing match going on, no sparring going on. You know what I mean? And for them to have a verbal battle back and forth, LeBron can be real petty too. So this is very entertaining, very cute. We're gonna see where it leads at. We're gonna see who else steps in and what kind of rules are implemented between, you know, analysts and players, and what can be done to avoid things like this, where they talking about players on a personal level. Just keep it about basketball, man. You know, he trash his game. He ain't scored this, he ain't do that, but let's say fatherhood or any of those words, you gotta be careful. Tread lightly, you know? Well, this your boy OZ. You know, appreciate y'all tapping in, man. The Hood Sports and Entertainment, man. Make sure you subscribe, you know, drop a comment, let me know what y'all think about this whole situation, how y'all feel about it. Like I said, I agree with Stephen A. Smith. It's all about the GOAT debate, man. And they just have to sit down and, you know what I'm saying, be grown men, man. Just let it be what it is. Stephen A. Smith don't have to apologize. He don't gotta apologize. Just be grown men and let it go. Let's go, man. Hey, y'all make sure y'all tap in for the next episode. We out here, and I'm out.